On December 7th, 1941, just before 8 a.m. Hawaiian Aleutian Standard Time, Japan unleashed a surprise attack on Pearl Harbor.
The Japs copied their German masters in striking hard at airfields. Hickam Field, northwest of Honolulu, and the Ford Island Naval Plane Base were the first objectives of Japan's treachery. Scores of planes were bruised and battered by the Japs' aerial bombs. Many of these were demolished beyond repair.
Hundreds of Japanese aircraft descended on the naval base, destroying nearly 20 American Navy vessels and killing roughly 2,400 Americans. At 4:10 p.m. on December 8th, President Franklin Roosevelt signed the U.S. Congress Joint Resolution and declared war on Japan. The United States had officially joined the Second World War. The U.S., alongside the Allied powers such as France, Great Britain, and the Soviet Union, fought against the Axis powers, who consisted of Germany, Italy, and Japan. The U.S. fought World War II in two main ways. First, the U.S. initiated a mass mobilization effort. Millions of men and women went to serve overseas. Those who couldn't took up work at home. The battle was not only external, but also internal. The second way the US fought was by removing all potential spies. White Americans feared another deadly bombing, so they turned to their fellow Japanese Americans and questioned their loyalty to the US. Following the bombing of Pearl Harbor, anti-Japanese sentiment skyrocketed throughout the United States. White Americans vandalized Japanese stores and shops. Harsher working conditions pushed them out of their jobs, and racism in schools and public environments forced them to stay in their homes. On February 19, 1942, following the growing distrust toward Japanese Americans, President Roosevelt enacted Executive Order 9066, which allowed the alienation and segregation of Japanese Americans. The executive order had more immediate ramifications. The executive order permitted the mass incarceration of Japanese Americans by reallocating them to internment camps. Those who did not comply were evicted from their homes and their assets were frozen. World War II developed into a war on skin color and ethnicity. If you were Japanese, you did not belong in America anymore. You could not live in your homes, you could not go to school, and you could not be American.